And to be honest,
Wait,
I've eaten up a
intermission.
lot of this
We have,
time with talking about cemetery. So
yeah,
let's bring it on.
but
Hold
that
on.
does sound very beautiful. Cemetery. I
Mm-hmm.
used to, my old place was near a cemetery, and I really enjoyed walking through there. I do understand the thing.
There's something very holy about the ground that you're walking on. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a kind of a. I'm
Oh,
not a
there's
very.
Danny Kind. Do
Huh?
you, Jules, you met my friend Danny, right?
I met Danny Kind.
Yeah.
Yes, I enjoyed her immensely, and then I also saw her on the tram. Is that what you guys call it?
Oh, the streetcar. Let's see if
Yeah,
she
the
wants to
streetcar.
join
The
us
street.
for a minute.
God, I've lost my Toronto.
Oh,
Ness
Jules,
already. I'm sorry. But
you
yes,
really have.
then I saw her and I was like, oh, it's Danny. And I was like, do I go up to? She won't, because we had only met I think once before that.
Once or
I was
something.
like, I was like, I don't. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. So anyway, I didn't go and say hi, but I
That's
might from a distance, like the creep I am.
Danny was just on a magazine cover. She just posted it. It was very, very, very sexy and very fancy. Congratulations, Danny, if you're still here. You look
Yeah,
awesome.
I feel like I saw that. It was maybe a white background.
She posted it. Mm-hmm.
That's how I saw it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Um, what else was I going to say? Yeah, we enjoy. Has maybe she'll be able to answer this if she's still here. Um, is Working Mom still on?
Mm-hmm.
Finished? It's is it
I
in the
don't know if they're going to do another season, but I am pretty sure that it's coming out. The season they just shot is in the fall is coming out like soon, quite
right?
soon. Yeah,
Okay, cool. I
yeah.
have to get. I've watched 2 seasons.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh my,
it's very fun, and Danny's amazing in it.
Danny's
As
fantastic.
she's pretty much fantastic in everything she
So
does.
is Sarah.
But
Sarah's
and Sarah. Oh my gosh, Sarah.
she's so
And I
fun.
saw Sarah on the poster now. I need to catch up on the seasons because I think Val, Sarah's character, is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah,
She's
yeah.
so funny. She's so funny.
She's
Oh,
I remember the first time I met her, and I was talking to her about my Meryl Streep obsession, as I do with everybody I meet.
yes,
And then
yes.
like she's like, oh, I carry around a photo of Meryl Streep in my wallet, and I didn't
Does
know
she really?
if she was being serious or not, and I didn't want to ask her to produce it. But the fact that she just said that, I was like,
Wait, Sarah did?
Sarah said that, and I
No
just
way.
don't know if it was just to placate, me, but I loved her from then on. Oh,
Yeah.
let's read a couple of these things before we go into this. Did I? Oh, that's a good question. Jules, did you watch Just Look Up?
Oh yeah. Did you watch
Uh,
that yet?
I have not watched that yet, and I know it's a crime because Meryl's in it.
Yes.
Have
Meryl
you?
is. I'm very curious to know. Shoot, I wish we could talk about that because that's the only movie I've watched in about 4 months.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Well,
shoot,
one of these.
we should have we should have planned this better. Meryl is. I'm interested to know what you think of her performance.
Okay, okay.
I don't want
I
to say more than that. I do want to say more than that, but I won't. I'm holding back.
okay. I've heard so Stephen's watched it. A few other people I know have watched it, and I'm getting very mixed.
I feel like it's a very divisive movie. I think that people you either really like it or you really don't. So I really liked it and Ray really didn't.
Oh,
But
okay.
I brought up the why he didn't. I was like, "Oh, I can see that." But the reasons he didn't, I didn't bother me. Like I saw it the same thing he was seeing, but I actually liked that about it whereas
Mhm.
it put him off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, you and I tend to disagree
Mhm.
about
Do.
movies a lot. So I don't know what that means, but I will. I'll give it a go.
Okay. Just watch it and let me know what you think. because I'd be very interested in your opinion of this one.
Okay. Did you watch The Power of the Dog?
No, but you were texting about that earlier today.
Yeah. So Ray's seen it. You
Yeah.
must with the child. I Mum and we all watched it last night. It's like a slow fucking burn. It is
Okay.
so slow, but it's the cinematography is amazing, and it's obviously New Zealand, so I am.
So you were a fan. Yeah,
Um,
I really, really liked it. I didn't read all your guys' messages back and forth because I was making the infamous kale salad for um but he see I would love to watch more stuff. But the problem is Ray can function on like 5 hours of sleep. I can't.
yeah,
I have to get like 7 or I'm in a bad way.
yeah,
Like at least like I can go like a night of 5 or 6, but then I'm like not in a good way the next day. And I'm also, if I do that a couple days in a row, it's no bueno. So
okay.
like I like split the baby shift and he can stay up and like do the
What?
2 a.m. and go to bed, but I can't.
Okay.
So this is why Ray has watched more than me because he can function on less sleep than I can. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
And
Um,
this is also I have a new addiction, Jules.
Tell me.
Laugh. But no one will be surprised by this addiction. So this girl I met told me about this BBC show for old people that I really like because I'm an old person
Great.
inside art. It is a show called it's called Back in Time for Dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take a gander on what that might be about before I tell you.
Is it a reality show?
Yes.
Back in Time for Dinner.
Hmm.
It's about old people.
No,
Or,
it's
or
about
it's
old. It's just
old
made
people.
for the enjoyment of an older crowd,
Okay.
aka me.
You. Okay. I don't know.
You just guess.
Back in Time for Dinner.
You don't get a prize if you guess right or wrong, so it doesn't
Oh.
matter.
Oh well. Then what? Hmm. Okay. So like I don't know. They.
Although there are a few people who love Back in Time for Dinner, so I don't feel quite so nerdy.
Okay,
But
no,
it's
just
like a very nerdy thing where when I tell you about it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, of course you like that."
okay. But I would. I would no judgment. No judgment.
No, no, no.
Okay. Go. Give it to me.
Okay,
Tell me.
so it's this show um, that takes the same family, and they my nose is so itchy, and they take the same family. And they put them so it's like two parents and three and like two teenage daughters and a younger son, and they basically take this house and they redo the house in the period, and they go through every decade and they do it through food. So like it'll be like 1900 to 1910 and they'll make them dress in the way they would have, and it's like a typical middle class family in England in that period, and they'll make them either cook the meals out of a cookbook or they have to hire a maid because they're middle class during that time, and then they like lose their maid because then the war happened, and women went into like take over the jobs that men left and all this stuff. Anyways, it's really freaking interesting because you get to see like the same family go through these decades, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm really feeling this way, like they had a maid in from 1900 to 1910 because that's what like every middle class
Yeah.
family would have had. And it was really interesting because the girl that they brought is like a chef in real life, but
Yeah.
she was commenting on like how it made her feel and how she wasn't with the family, but she was like cooking all these things for them, and how she was really lonely, and like so you can start to see. And the girls would basically like just sit at home and embroider. They literally had nothing to do, and these are like modern teenage girls, and they're like, I would just lose my mind if this was my life. So it's just really interesting. And like their son, who's 12, couldn't eat dinner with them. He's not allowed because he's 12, so he had to be in the kitchen. But he's like 12, it's a 12-year-old kid today is like basically a 20-year-old.
Okay.
So it's just a really, anyways, and they go through all the decades. So then they do like 1910 to 1920, and they have like the food they would have eaten, the brands they would have eaten, the times and the clothes and the uh, activities they would have done. Anyways, it's a very, very interesting
I'm
show.
on board. I'm on board. I love that premise.
It's
I
cool. Right?
Yep, I'm into it. How do I watch this?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just back
What's
in
it
time.
called? Back in time for dinner. Okay. I'm on it. I'm all over it.
It's fun. So that's what I'm watching. Also because they're like really short, mindless, and I can just put it on in the background while I'm doing stuff. So that's what I've actually. So I haven't watched nothing, but I've watched that. And then apparently there's another one she told me about. It was like The Killer Home or Killer at Home, but it's about the Victorian era and all, or maybe it's multiple eras. I don't know, but it's all the things in their house that could kill them. So like
Love it.
people would have these weird symptoms and then they would go away to like the waters and they would feel amazing and they would come back to their home and they would start feeling awful again, and it was because like the dye in the wallpaper was killing them.
Ah, I
Or
love
there was this other thing where babies, there was like a huge infant mortality rate because during Queen Victoria's reign, it wasn't fashionable to breastfeed. So she had a wet nurse, but if you couldn't afford a wet nurse, but you wanted to be fashionable, so you were like middle class in, I don't know what status that would be, that you could and could not afford certain things. But the women, they wouldn't want to breastfeed, but they also like couldn't afford a wet nurse, so they would feed their babies out of these bottles and they would just wash the outside of the bottle.
right. So it
They
would be
wouldn't wash. They thought if like the outside of the bottle was clean, that and they would have cow's milk in these. I mean, it's just like
yeah.
so because I'm like washing and sanitizing all these bottles all the time. And they wouldn't be able to pump because they didn't really have, I don't know, maybe they would have, but like I can't imagine hand expressing enough milk for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So like these babies would die, and then they would put borax to kill the smell. They were like poisoning their it's like so horrible to think about, but like, and then like things about their dresses, and all the dyes in their dresses were basically like killing them. It's
Someone
crazy.
like lead paint on
All this stuff, and I'm like, Jesus, no wonder nobody lived past 30.
yes, this is why. Every fucking thing kill you.
It's crazy. So, um, yeah.
I
Anyway,
remember my I don't know if it was in this house. Maybe it was maybe it was like a great
old house. The house you live in is like how many generations in your family?
We are the fourth, I think. It's like 120 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it was this house though, but like my great granddad, whatever.
Uh, uh,
We had those medicine cabinets, and we've only got it in one room, so they're right beside the door, and you put all your medicine in it, right?
yeah.
And I think the granddad or whatever he felt sick, and he got up in the middle of the night, but he didn't want to turn on. I assume it was a fucking lamp in those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
To wake up his wife. And so what he thought he was grabbing from the medicine cabinet was like, I don't know, some heartburn medication. But instead, he grabbed arsenic. Why the fuck arsenic was in the medicine cabinet, I have no idea. But anyway, took this medication, ended up poisoning himself to death. I think it took him like 3 days to die. That's what happens in the olden days. You would never fucking do that here.
Man, that's rough. And
the story still
imagine for 3 days being like, why did I?
Yeah, being like, I took
like, oh God.
Yeah,
That's awful.
but yeah, there's a few crazy stories like that in my family. Weird deaths
is awful. I don't want to think about the things that happen in I really try actually not to think about, but I like to think my house has a really nice energy. And so I like to think that there was a lot of good things that happened in this house.
Do you think there are ghosts?
Oh, there's gotta be. Sometimes when I'm up with Ro at night, I feel like if I have his door cracked open, I feel like I don't know, like someone's watching me. But it's also, I'm probably making that up in my head. And then Ray one time was like, "Have you seen those things on the baby monitor?" I was like, "Don't fucking do that. Don't
No, no, no,
don't
no.
want to know weird things for my child while he sleeps." But I also have a friend, a very good friend. I don't know if I've told you about my friend Angelique before, but
Yes, yes, 100 times
so like
before.
100 times before. Ugh, I always
I love you very much.
oh, fuck.
It's all right. It's
I'm
okay. Your
worried
thing.
about times. Yeah, okay. So no, I've told you about Angelique's and the Spirits and like at my wedding, how she told me about like the because I got married in that really old house and she told me yeah. Okay, so she told me like the greeting like that the housekeeper came and sent their best, which I told because I've been with her and she's like said some weird shit and like
Yeah.
that we leave and I 100% believe her. Anyways, I've been chatting with her and I'm trying to get her to come by to meet Ro, but I feel like I need to say to her, listen, when you come in the house, if you see or feel or like, you know,
Don't.
find out, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know if I want to know it about my house. But I feel really lovely energy in this house. I've never felt afraid.
Well, good. Have you ever spent a night there on your own, like
Not,
without?
no, not sleeping, but I have been on my own in the house, but not to sleep.
Okay. Because I have.
If
Yeah.
are you about to tell me something that's gonna mess
No,
me up?
no, I haven't been there, so I'm not going to mess you up. But I was going to say, like, I have to. This is a room. I can't show you the room because it's fucking messy because I'm in the middle of packing. But um, there's because this house is really old. I've
Mhm.
never wanted to sleep in this room. This is called the middle room. Great name. But some people, friends, have stayed in here and they have reported that like
Yeah.
the eyes and the like oh, like this is my grandma's wedding photo. So like they follow you when you walk in the.
Oh no.
So I haven't experienced anything like this, but I just
Yeah,
said
but
I've
you
never.
there. You have told me things about that house before.
Yeah. So just this room. This it only just
Oh,
happens
but
in this.
you say that the room that you and Carolyn slept in, you felt it too?
No, I so I haven't really experienced anything like that. It's only other people who have been. And so there's no way I was going to sleep in this room. And then after my back surgery, this
Mm,
was the only bed in the house that I felt comfortable in or that I wasn't getting sore in. So then
right.
I fucking sleep in this room. Um and there's been a couple of times where I've woken up from dreams and seen things, but I feel like I'm still half asleep, like I'm still in that dream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that, like what do they call that? Sleep paralysis or something?
Sure, let's call it that.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, it's there's something I don't quite know what it is, but there's something happening.
Yeah.
But I died.
I mean, how can they not really? I mean, there's so many people that have died in these houses or lived in these houses. Maybe they die and they like really liked it here, so they come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure that is. Let's do this. Let's do this
It,
quiz thing.
yeah, let's.
We can have some fun answers instead of just talking about death all the time. Oh, I do have to tell you, but speaking of TV shows,
Okay.
I have been, and I'm sure Winona Earpers will know what I'm talking about. You have to watch Dickinson. Have you heard of Dickinson?
Yeah, I watched. I
You
did.
didn't have enough
I
time.
watched the first 3 episodes and I couldn't get into it.
No, you need to come back to it. So you know you already know the premise of it. It's Emily Dickinson, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. I watched it. I really liked how they incorporated like modern music, and I really liked the actors, and I loved like the love story that they were brewing. I just felt okay. Here's what I felt about it. It felt like for me a bit like juvenile, like it's just made for a younger audience, and it didn't catch me.
cool. I'll call some bullshit on that because then
Okay.
it needs to. It, oh, okay, hold on. I need the words. Um, help me out, people.
Okay.
Let's help me out. Yeah, okay. So these people are telling you need to continue with it. So yeah, I understand the juvenileness about it because I think the music actually is appealing to a younger audience that way. But
Okay.
the dialogue between, well, first of all, like it takes a bit to kind of interpret her poems, right? And
Yeah.
like I can't listen to an Emily Dickinson poem, or I can't read an Emily Dickinson poem with being like, what the fuck does this mean? And
Hmm.
then I think I think as the series goes on, I do think it does get a bit older because I just don't think the younger audience could really, like a young audience could really
Yeah, makes sense. It's almost like they like got some feedback and they were like, "Oh, this is actually appealing to a slightly older. Let's start writing for them."
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like it was I think it got so I'm like an uber fan of this show, right? Like
I didn't know you've never talked about this show with me before.
freaking oh my god. Well, initially it was just like, okay, I like this show. This is cool. I'm
Yeah.
also obsessed with like Haley Steinfeld. Like she is like
There.
she's top of the list.
Top of
Uh,
the Off of the list, right next to Meryl.
well, I don't love like well Meryl is there's an appreciation and love around Meryl, whereas this is like I don't really
Yeah.
she's also like 70 years old. So
She's
this is quite not on my attractive kind of that's not what I go for, which is fine
right. No, no, I understand.
for other people, but
For other
um
people.
but not for me. So anyway, Haley Steinfeld, and so the fact that she's in it, great,
Hmm.
but there is this love story between her and her best friend Sue, and it's very like obviously it's the 1850s or whatever, so that's very hush hush, but it's beautiful how this kind of relationship ebbs and flows and how they kind of navigate it in this time period. And um yeah, and the end of the show, like I won't spoil it in case you
Have you seen
um
the whole series? Is it over?
yeah, there was 3 seasons and they stopped at 3 seasons.
Oh, that's a good. See, I feel like sometimes shows go too long. It's kind of nice that it's. I can get into a show for 3 seasons, but if it's like six, I'm like, I don't have time. Like, I'll never finish this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because the thing is, the premise, like, I was so excited to watch the show because the premise is right up my alley. Like,
yeah,
give me like a reimagining of a period piece and like some, I'm totally in.
yeah.
I will give it another chance.
I know your time is limited, so therefore I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't
Okay,
believe.
if you didn't genuinely believe that I was going to
Yeah,
get super into it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah, and
Okay.
it's and the most beautiful like love scene. Like you had a good one in um in Winona. That was great. This one is for the show and how this unfolds. It was like the most beautiful piece of television I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
beautiful. Yeah,
Okay. Well, then I I should try again
do
because
it.
if it gets better, like if it matures, I'm on board 1,000%. I just felt like the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh, this is a little too teenagery, gossip girly for me. Like I can't really get into it.
Well,
But I
my
will
dad.
try again.
So
Okay. Okay.
if
Because
it
I
can,
trust you, because you know my taste
yeah, I
very
do.
well, I think, and I do trust your opinion of things. So I will give it another try. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Right,
Got it.
that's my show that I recommend.
Shall we do a quiz?
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay.
I used to be obsessed with like whenever I used to get magazines as a teenager, I used to flip to the quiz section always.
Well, this is from 17, so
Yes.
17 magazine. So
Amazing.
I'll skip some of the questions because some of them are a bit like, what college do you want to go to? We've been there, done that, honey.
Oh man, we're so old. Are we old? Are we too old to take this quiz?
No, we're not. There's some great questions, but I'll
Okay.
just see there's like categories like thoughtful questions, fun questions, like personal questions. We won't,
Yeah.
I'll just pick and choose.
Okay.
Okay. If you could have, you've probably already been asked this a lot. If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? Okay, you've got to give me an answer.
Would yours be Meryl?
Mine would be Meryl. You don't have to guess for me. You can
Oh.
just answer. No. See, I wouldn't know this for you. Betty White. Oh my God, someone said Betty White.
Oh, Betty White.
Oh, I love her.
Oh, there's so many people. There's so many people. I think right now I'm.
Oh God, I'm getting blood
Maybe
out of it.
like Marie Antoinette.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Marie Antoinette would be like a really interesting, but I don't know. Maybe she'd be really boring because her worldview would be small. I don't know. Maybe I'm more into like the Marie Antoinette that I see in movies. Queen Elizabeth the first.
The first?
The first, Queen Elizabeth the first, like the OG badass queen.
Oh,
well, she's
yeah.
not really the OG. We had like lots of like
Kate,
amazing Egyptian queens. But I think it's just because I'm in like a historic place right now that I'm naming all these like.
Someone said.
I would like to have dinner with someone who is a part of the suffragette movement in any capacity. I would like to have dinner with Pink, who's one of my favorite musicians. I'd like to have dinner with you and Charlotte in Canada.
I would also enjoy that too.
Yeah. How about you? Those would be like some of my top one. Kate Blanchett, Amelia Earhart. Ooh, nice.
I would like to have dinner with Lucille Ball.
Oh, did you watch The Ricardos?
Yes, I did.
Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it.
I heard it was not good, so I didn't watch it.
No, people there saying it's not good. Give me their names.
I had a couple family members see it, and they said it was not good. I loved the idea of it. Oh, and my dad watched it. He also said it was not good, but I don't trust my dad's opinion because we have very different taste in movies. Like if things aren't blowing up, he's like, nah, not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some people don't like Nicole Kidman. I think she's amazing in everything she does, including this.
Okay.
She will get an nomination.
I feel like Nicole Kidman does not stop. I don't understand how she does so many movies. It's insane to me.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So anyway, Lucille Ball and like other people, but I think that would be great dinner. Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
I wouldn't know this about you.
Okay.
What's one conspiracy theory you actually believe? Great question from me.
Can you go first? Because I needed to think.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
The trigger warning. The Jeffrey Epstein, the death of Jeffrey, I believe he was killed.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. He was an asshole. So
yeah. But you believe someone.
But the way he died, I think, is super.
Right. That he was killed.
Yeah, instead of committing suicide.
I mean, I think like something about aliens. Like I really believe in aliens.
Did they not kind of prove a little while ago with the release of those videos that aliens are zooming around the skies? You know, that Navy video that they released that showed like the UFOs like going at like a.
Oh, I didn't see that video.
Yeah, they've confirmed it's aliens. Yeah, no.
Oh, great. Okay, well, there goes that. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. I don't know. I always think it's really naive of us to think that we're the only
Mhm.
things out there. So I've always believed in aliens. I think it's great. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would be afraid of that. I just think I'm like, you really think like this is it? Come on.
Yeah.
Um, okay, next question.
Okay. If you had to fight for one global cause for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I mean, probably climate change.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of climate change.
Yeah, which is what like Don't Look Up is
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
right? Uh,
About, yeah.
mm, mm,
You?
mm.
What about you?
Climate change. Yeah, scares the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just like, we're not, but like people just like countries are blatantly ignoring that it's a thing. What's the first thing you notice when you meet someone?
Oh. Probably like how they greet you physically. So if
Really?
they're like a hugger or if they're like a hand, like see, now
So
all this is messed up because of COVID.
aside from COVID, okay, let's pretend this is like
Yeah,
two.
probably yeah, like how someone is in their body physically. Like if they're like more like up in your space, if they keep their distance, if they're like a handshaker, what their eye
Hold,
contact is like,
hold on to it.
you know? I
Yeah.
think like just their physical energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
What about you?
Um, yes, that too. Uh, hmm. I notice if people talk about themselves a lot and don't ask
Ah,
you questions
yeah.
like
Drives
that.
me nuts.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I have a little bit of that in me. In fact, that like I don't like that about myself, and I always try and be that person that like
Mhm.
immediately about. But that's something that I notice in other people, and probably it's something that I would want to change.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I hate that. I have like a couple acquaintances that are like mutual friends of Ray and ours, and one came over to our house not too long ago. Literally did not ask one question about
yeah,
us. Like I'm like, we just moved and had a baby. Like you don't want to see like one question, just talked about himself the entire time
yeah.
and his basically filmmaking. And I was like, I cannot. This is like I said to Ray, I was like, I just can't
Can't be
be around
friends.
this person. Like I, like I try to participate, but after a while, you're just like, this is fucking rude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's this. The world revolves around me, sort of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Don't.
Very,
To,
very good, good
mm,
call, Jules. That's a good one too.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're over it. I'll just.
What else does 17 Magazine want us to
Well,
ask?
it's got 160 questions, so
Holy
I'll.
crap! Well, we don't
Yeah.
have enough time for those.
Well, that's why I'm just trying to pick up the
Want
good.
to do a lightning round?
Yeah, we'll do it like right now.
Okay.
If you could have a celeb as your BFF, who would it be? Me.
You.
No. If you could be best friends with a famous person, who would it
You. I'm
be?
so bad at this. I don't know anybody.
You didn't even know
Emily
that.
Blunt. Emily Blunt.
Okay, great answer. Fantastic answer.
Yeah.
Great from
I think
you.
Emily Blunt would be an awesome friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed. Um,
You?
um, Shah saw Sophia Bush the other
She
day,
told me on the plane.
and I was like, "Fuck, she would be a great person to be friends." I follow her on social media stuff, so I
I
just
followed her for a while because of you.
because of
You
me.
told me to follow her. See, how do I remember random shit like that? But then I don't remember other things, like really big things.
It's just how your brain works.
What is wrong with my brain?
It holds on. Well, it holds on to the important stuff, which is the stuff that I tell you.
Right. Exactly. Oh
um,
man.
um, hold on. I did find where was the bit that I was doing the other day that was good. Um, we'll go to the personal questions, but not too personal. We're not giving, we won't give it away.
Okay.
What's your favorite? Oh, this is a bit cute because it's about us. What's your favorite memory of us?
Oh. Oh, I have so many. Going to the beach for that girls' weekend was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my bachelorette party with you when we were just getting to know each other.
Oh,
I, what's that?
we weren't even like
We weren't even
we were,
like
we
really,
were,
really close at that point. Well, we
we
were like getting there, but that was a very big
but yeah.
initiation. I remember, oh my gosh, I have so many like flashes of you and Shar with Burn. I
Mm-hmm.
remember your old apartment where you guys were like really concerned about the drip. I don't know why this is such a vivid memory. And I had like that really big callback audition, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys were very concerned about me sleeping in the room with the drip because you're really worried I wasn't gonna sleep.
Oh my
I don't know why
god.
that's so vivid. I remember meeting you for the first time on the internet. I remember exactly where I was sitting in my apartment. I remember oh my gosh, I have so many. I have like so many memories. I remember going to the horse races together. I
Mm-hmm.
also just remember like a million dinners and like just hanging out and watching movies at your place.
And you
I
falling.
I remember going to Banff and having the on the snow when you and Char hadn't tried that before.
Oh yeah,
The
the
oh my God, not toffee, maple syrup
maple
on the
syrup.
snow.
That was a great memory for me. First of all, going to Calgary,
Yeah.
being on set. Yes, I got to be on.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, being, uh, and then us, yeah, going to Banff. That was amazing. That was a great.
That was awesome. I remember picking you up at the airport when you guys came to LA and you were so sick on the way home in the car. And I remember renting that convertible
Yeah,
and playing Robin when we
yeah.
were driving through Beverly Hills. That was an awesome memory.
That will have to
That
be.
sounds like so bougie in Hollywood, but that's not something that we would normally have
That's
done.
not something we would ever do. And the fact that we had this convertible, we were just like obsessing about this convertible, and we're like, I had one before, and it was a beautiful day, and we're just driving around the hills,
Yeah.
and I'd never been to LA before,
Yeah.
and yeah, listening to Robin, and she
Yeah.
was playing. She was at like that's what
She was playing. I don't know why we didn't
yeah.
try to go.
I don't know
That
because
was a
we
missed opportunity.
and Adele ended up being at that concert and
Oh
just
my
being.
God.
Well, yeah, that was a mistake, but that
Yeah.
that whole day was amazing. And we went to a restaurant and you pretended that it was my birthday.
Yes, and you hated us. And they brought cake
Yeah,
and we sang to you and you hated it. It was
yeah,
so funny.
yeah. It was great. It was great for everyone else.
Yeah,
Um,
everyone should do that to a friend. The best part is just don't tell them. That's the
yeah,
best part. And then they have to play along when the people come with the cake.
that's right. That's what I. Oh,
What are some, sorry, I feel like I just verbal diarrhea. What are some of
no,
your favorite memories?
no, all of those. The huge memory was LA. Just that whole. I don't know how many days. 3, 4.
I think you were there for four nights.
Remember when you had to pack up your apartment? That was the worst.
Yeah,
Um,
I do. You had to move my
yeah,
apartment.
yeah.
I was like, thanks for coming to LA. Can you please help us move to this other unit?
Well, Lisa was just upstairs.
Yeah, it was just upstairs. We were just moving to a much nicer unit.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And you moved back to Toronto,
And
which
then we
was
went back to Toronto.
the thing you
New
could.
York. Remember when we went to New York? That was another amazing
We
time.
went to.
We've had some good travel. And then we were supposed to go to New Orleans. And
Fuck,
fucking COVID canceled that.
we have to go back there someday because yeah,
That
that's.
was a missed opportunity. That was
I'm.
going to be all four of us. Anyway.
Um, all right, We'll do a couple more. Um, mm, if you could describe
Oh, wait, sorry. I have just a question about New York. You guys still have that cartoon that we had drawn,
Oh,
right?
thing. Here's the thing about that.
You did not throw that out. You didn't. Jules, no. That was
No,
so funny.
it was great. It was fantastic, but then it had come out of its frame, and then I had to stick it in a wardrobe somewhere, and then we moved it from like that apartment to the next apartment to the next apartment, and
I'm
over.
really sad right now that that painting is in the
I,
garbage somewhere.
here's the thing: I took a photo of it so that we could always
Okay.
just blow it up and just have it on,
Because you were going to reprint it. That was
yeah,
your intention, right?
yeah, because our time it had slowly disintegrated around the corners, and I had to make the decision to get rid of this thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I took a photo.
Wait, Charlotte's here. I see you, Charlotte.
It's been,
I was. What did you say about I was? What does that mean?
I don't know. She'll type it again. Oh, I haven't been reading any of these comments. More. Let's.
Not too. I just glanced down. Because I saw a shark come up.
They're frozen. All of the comments are frozen for me.
Are they? Hold on. How long have we known each other? We've known each other for 6 years? 7 years? Oh no, now you're frozen too. Oh boy. And I was going to reprint it. Charlotte says she was going to reprint it. Oh no. Can anyone still hear me? Jules is frozen and blurry. Oh no, Jules left. Am I still here? Hi, Kat. Jules, you're frozen. Wait a second. I have to re-invite Jules so we can finish this conversation. Invite. Josh, I see you there. You're asking where my dog is. He's right here. Oh, here you are.
I'm sorry.
This is for my friend Josh who's asking where's Bern. Right there. That's his spot. Look at him. Cute little fluffy butt.
So cute.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back.
Next question.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm.
I'm getting tired.
You go to sleep now.
Soon.
Okay.
Soon, but let's do like 2 more.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, they better be bloody good. Oh, there's so many to pick. If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be? What would they be?
You go first.
I'll do you. How about that?
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say I should do you and you should do me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 words. Okay. Selfless.
Oh, that's nice.
Very, very generous and very loyal. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. Those are really nice words.
Well,
Thank you.
as much as people, I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I wish I could be like Kat's best friend or no Kat or whatever. And it is as good as you think it would be. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm getting all like shy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, what would I say? 3 words to describe you. I would say you are sensitive. Like, no, in a good way. Like you really feel things. Like you're not like a half-assy kind of like you're all in 100%. You feel all the things. Good, bad.
Yeah.
Like you're there. You're present with your emotions.
Yeah. I
I
agree with.
would say I would say loyal for you too, actually. I can't use the same word though.
Sure, you can.
I would say you're very loyal. You're
Great.
very loyal. And I would say a fun one I would say is like cheeky.
I'm fine with that.
I feel like you're very like cheeky. I don't know how to like you're like a little bit sneaky in like
Oh,
a really fun way.
okay.
But but that's like a silly one. And then I
No,
would say,
I'm gonna overanalyze that.
mm-mm.
Um,
And then I would say, no, I would say, thoughtful. You're very thoughtful. Like you think of all the details and the little things. And when you're like getting a gift for somebody or you're considering doing something for somebody, you really, really think through what they would like. Like you really think about, it's never like, you know, sometimes when you get people a gift or you do something for somebody, it's because you're really doing it for you, but you're
yeah,
never doing it. You're always doing it for them. Does that make sense?
yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
It's I like, how people always say like, oh, I love giving gifts and like don't like receiving it, but I really love like
Giving.
giving.
Yeah.
Like I would rather just give gifts than ever receive them ever. And that's
Yeah.
such a Pollyanna bloody answer. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I'm the same thing like when it's not quite the same thing, but like when I'm watching a movie with someone that I've already watched, I want them to have
Yeah.
these experiences. So that's why like whenever you guys are watching movies, I'm always just like staring at you guys to be like, are they gonna
Yeah.
love it? Or do they get this on the same level? Because like, and I guess that comes from my appreciation of movies and how much I can be, how much I can feel that art.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering if other people are impacted by it the same way. And I want
Mm-hmm.
to be. And a lot of the times people like don't appreciate it. But when you're in a room with like artists who actually do this,
Mm-hmm.
you're wanting them to feel that same way. I went on a
Yeah.
tangent, but anyway.
No, no, I get that. I totally get that. It's almost more fun sometimes, especially like if you really love something and like you want, and it brought you a lot of joy, you like want somebody else to feel that.
Yeah,
You know what?
absolutely.
One of my favorite memories, actually, you were asking me what my favorite memory was. It's when I was pregnant and really, really like early trimester, like really nauseous, and I was shooting that movie. I was shooting Cabin Connection or Good Witch, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like really like not feeling good. And you and Char had me over for breakfast and you made me eggs.
Oh yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
yeah,
Yeah, we had a sleepover.
yeah.
And you guys were just so caring and you took care of me and made me feel so much better. That's a memory that just came to mind.
I have so
Yeah.
many that like of us just doing that or having a sleepover or
Yeah.
this or whatever together.
Yeah.
I also have those memories with Bridget too, like Bridget and Jake, like
Hmm.
at their house.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's the little things, isn't it?
I think it is the little things with friendships, especially over the years. Like it's not really, it's fun to go do the big fun things, but I think it's really like the little like things that seem really small in the moment, but
Yeah,
those are the things that sort of build that bond.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, last question.
You want to do one last one?
Um, oh, the pressure is on. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, let's go with. If you don't like this question, we can have another one. What's one of your biggest regrets?
Ugh. Ugh. I mean, my earliest regret was like, I think I've said this before in like an interview or something, which is I When I was like was a little kid, my grandfather was in the hospital, and my parents asked if I wanted to go visit him, but like I don't know, I guess I was under the impression he was going to get better, and so I didn't go, and then he passed away. That was like my earliest regret.
Mm-hmm. How old
Um,
were you?
some other regrets are like I wish I had partied more and like not been so worried about getting my career and my life on track in my early 20s. Like I wish I had just surrendered to the chaos that is your early 20s
Yeah.
because I feel like I put so much pressure on myself and I was too serious and like I should have just because it's a messed up time anyway. So like you might as well enjoy it. But I think I thought I put so much pressure on myself to have everything figured out. So that's
Yeah.
one of my regrets is that, and I also think I was like, I don't know if it's because I didn't have siblings or I didn't have like older people in my life being like, dude, chill, just like go have fun, let yourself off the hook for a bit.
Yeah.
Um, that's one of my regrets is that I just didn't like get into more trouble and like be more have more stupid decisions and like just go for it more. I was too conservative with my 20s trying to have everything all lined up. What
Yeah.
about you?
That's a good answer. I think being I always had um a lot of anxiety when I was little about people
Mm,
dying. So
mm,
every time my parents would go out for dinner, which wasn't that often, but every time they would go off somewhere, would just
uh,
immediately think that they would be in a car accident, and kind of like
yeah.
you know, witches at the
Do I
start.
know what? Sorry.
You know the movie the Witches with Angelica Houston and stuff. Like at the start of that movie, the little boy's parents go off for dinner, and then they don't come home. And I always envision that's the stuff
God.
that would happen to me. Um, so I regret the amount of anxiety I put on my own self when I was younger, and
Ooh,
and
that's
then
a that's such a big thing though. I mean, like, could you really have after even seeing things like that? Like you're too small to really be able to work through those feelings.
yeah, but then that also just carried on. That still happens to me. Uh, Obviously, a lot less now that
Yeah,
I'm adulting,
yeah,
but I still have those waves of panic that um and they, yeah, they do become quite overwhelming. So I regret not being able to calm myself down more,
yeah.
because so many nights in my life where I've just been in a panic.
Oh, that's so
So that went deep.
yeah.
uh let's end on
Wow.
a happy.
Okay, okay.
uh who was your first kiss?
My first kiss was a was on my 13th birthday. 13's really young. Like
No.
with you know what? It was a good first kiss because I had a really big crush on this boy for like a really stupidly long time. I mean, it was an unremarkable kiss on the stairs in like
Who?
my basement.
That they still live there now, in your parents'
Yep,
basement?
there
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
They're there now, but I had like, I was like 13, had a bunch of friends over and a big crush on this boy and he knew it and then he kissed me and then proceeded to torture me with pretending not to notice me for the next however many years.
You should have married him.
No, I really
Real.
should have. Really shouldn't have.
um but it was unremarkable. He's probably imagine if he's watching, just being like,
No, and he's like,
I
"What?
remember it too.
I remember it too."
Yeah.
What about you?
um oh god, I wonder if no one's going to be following me anyway from my past, so I don't care if I mention his name. It was a boy, and I was, yeah, I was probably 13, 12 or 13, and I had a couple of friends over and we were playing hide and seek. And in my room, there was like a small door to go into the attic.
Yeah.
And so we hid in there. And I remember I was sitting on his lap and yeah, and we kissed with tongue. Mm-hmm.
Good for you. We
Yeah.
kissed too. And I
Huh?
remember like, wow, that was a lot.
That was a lot in your small 13-year-old mouth.
I was like, no, no, no. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was very, like all my like romantic fantasies were very abruptly uh I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. But and so how did you feel about that?
I was great. He was kind of like
Oh,
he was not
good.
he was not like the popular boy, but he was the bad boy a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I had liked him for a little while. Um, and so yeah, and then yeah, I think he ignored me afterwards too.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you
Well,
go.
there you go. Is that how we're gonna end it?